James Starling here for the DeeJam YouTube channel after today's matchday experience, a 1-1 game between Debenham and Sheringham. I'm here with the Sheringham manager Chris, 30 seconds away from getting a win on the road. That must be hard to take, especially seeing how close you came. Gutting.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah. I mean, the thing is, you don't want to take anything away from the lads by being too disappointed in the dressing room after, because a point away from home on a day where conditions were really tough, you have to look at it like that and say that we didn't really lose anything, and we've come on the road and we've taken a point. But when you concede with 30 seconds left on the clock, and it was pretty much an even game with regards to the conditions, I'm going to be disappointed. Yeah,
definitely. Let's talk about the first half to begin with. You're playing with the wind. What was your kind of message at half time? Were you just a little bit disappointed that things didn't really, you couldn't really take advantage of those conditions? Or?
No, I think Debenham managed the first half really well. They wanted to slow the game down a little bit. They wanted to get through the first half and keep it 0-0 or try and snatch one, and certainly stop us scoring. And they did that really well. A little bit of their experience at this level, they did manage that first half really well. And from my point of view, I would probably like to see a few more shots from in and around the edge of the box because of the conditions and the wind. Obviously being sort of getting up to 50-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah.
But half time, it's a case of allow them to play straight balls and get our defence to almost squeeze high to allow the ball to go over the top and travel. But if we're going to squeeze a little bit higher, we then need to make sure that the midfield are pressing on so that they don't have a chance to look up and actually play a quality ball. Rather, we want it to be a hurried ball over the top that's going to run out of play. And we got that right second half. And what we did by squeezing higher, going against the wind, we pushed them further back, and when we did retain possession, we were a little bit higher up the pitch, so that helped us to gain a little bit of momentum against the wind, and quite often you do play better against the wind.
That's it. And then the goal right towards the end, you're to make it 1-0, you must be thinking absolutely fantastic. It was great play initially to set up the goal. I don't know how we managed to kind of jink his way in and out of the play. That was superb.
Yeah, I mean, and we'd had a little bit of kind of retained possession. We'd had a few sort of chances before that, and we'd kind of gone in and we'd come out, and they'd never properly cleared it, and we managed to pick the ball up in a good area, sling it across, and Ashley Jarvis came in at the far and stuck it in. And at that point, with 4 minutes left on the clock, you do think that the game is going to go your way, but again, it's a learning curve for us at this level, and the one thing I said to the boys at full time is you make a mistake or you give a free kick away, you're going to have people in the opposition with quality who can put a ball into the box into the right areas on a difficult day with difficult conditions, and they'll punish you, and they did, and they got their point fully deserved.
I was talking to a couple of people from the club before the game. It's been a bit of a great rise for the club recently, and especially in the past few years. Your first, obviously the promotion up to the Thurlow Nunn this start time around. You've had your 3 games in, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. How have the club and everybody settled into the division? Do you think you've adjusted quite well?
Yeah, I think so. I think we kind of knew that we've got quality in certain areas. The momentum we gained from winning the Anglian Combination Premier last year has given us momentum, but we knew what we had to do going forward. We had a relatively good pre-season. I don't think any manager enjoys pre-season or close season, but it's been relatively smooth, and I think we've kind of prepared ourselves well, and we're ready to crack on with it. And it is going to be a learning curve. We're coming to grounds that are unfamiliar to some of the lads. You know where you're going week in, week out, when you're playing a bit closer to home, but it is going to be a bit of a learning curve, and we will make mistakes, but on the back of that, we've got some great lads, we've got some real quality in the side, and I think we'll come good towards the end of the season, and from my point of view, target wise, if you're top half of the table, pushing into the top 6 come Christmas, you don't know what a good run can do towards the end of the season for a top 4 spot.
Well, I was just going to say that, as a newly promoted club, have the club really set you any targets in terms of what you need to get as kind of like a bare minimum, or they just said, look, we're new to this league, just go and see what you can do, and we'll assess things maybe towards Christmas, January sort of time? Or,
no, I came in 2.5 years ago, and the chairman asked me to get us promoted to this division in 3 years. Now we've done it in 2, so we're here, we're going to find our feet, but what we've also seen is that teams that have came out of the Anglian Combination Premier in CBS who've done it originally. You know, they've had a couple of good seasons, but then Harston and Mulbarton, you know, have really hit the board running and accounted ourselves really well in this league.
Yeah.
And we don't see there's any reason why we can't have a little bit of a go at it. And we're not going to fear anyone, whether there's teams that have been tipped from close season or during the summer. You know, we're not going to fear going anywhere or playing against anyone. No way.
Superb. Well, I wish you all the best of luck for the rest of the
cheers,
season.
cheers, James.
Cheers for the chat. Thank you very much.